Thank you, Martin, for being here today with me. Just ask you a few questions. So can you just introduce yourself to everybody who's going to be watching this? Who are you? Where do you work? What do you do?
Okay, my name is Martin Hare. I'm the Deputy Director at Dulwich International High School in Zhuhai. I came into coaching as quite a cynic to the whole process. I think in our first meeting, Jill, I described it as tree hugging or something like that. It was my former director, Andrew McDonald Brown, who had introduced coaching at Zhuhai. And when I got to Zhuhai, all people talked about was how brilliant coaching was and how it was the most beneficial CPD they'd ever done. And being a natural cynic, I thought, okay, all right, I'll have to check this out. And it's revolutionized my life to the degree where, I'm a much more reflective, confident person. And it's made some big life changing decisions for me. And it's helped me deal with some massive life changing events as well in a confident way. And it's really had really positive outcomes for me.
Wow, what an incredibly positive start. So what is it, if we get really granular about it, what do you think it is about, so like, obviously I coach you, but I'm not asking for praise here, but just about the techniques. What is it, do you think that coaching gives you that, say, just a conversation with a good friend?
Yeah, I think it's we've talked about this. We were talking about this recently within our management team. One of the biggest benefits to it can be just speaking to someone that you don't work with. That is completely independent, and you can get a really some weeks you just go on, you just rant, and you get things off your chest, and you get to see alternative viewpoints. But the techniques that we've learned, the techniques that we've been through each other, things like saboteurs and enablers, just seeing things from a different perspective and a different point of view, it has been the real benefit. But I think the one piece of advice I would have for anyone is you need to have 100% honesty. If you want to get the most out of it, you almost just have to throw yourself into the process and take that leap of faith, and then be reflective and be honest in your reflections. If you can do that, I think it really kind of can be life changing for almost everyone that does it. Every member of staff I speak to, every friend that I speak to that does it and is going through it, is again, the cynic in me comes out because I can hear myself saying but it just changes your perspective on a whole lot of things.
I love that you say about the honesty. Absolutely. And the way that we're trained is Coactive Training Institute. And I always make this sign that here's the coach, here's the client. And if the client isn't doing any work, nothing's going to happen. It'll just fall flat. And if the coach isn't doing the work, then the client's going to fall flat. So it has to be the two together. I wonder, can you talk a little bit about, there have been times in coaching where it's not always been comfortable. There've been uncomfortable moments. And how does that discomfort help you?
Okay, so I have no problem. Two of the main things that coaching has helped me with is to reevaluate my own personal relationships, to the point of view where I've ended a 9-year relationship that I've been in because of coaching, and having to have those difficult conversations, not just with you, but with himself. But also dealing with my father died just over 3 weeks ago, and how I've been able to process that and deal with that, being in, not, I wouldn't say stuck in China, but being in China and not being able to go home. But how to help my family, my mother, my brothers, my sisters deal with grief by using coaching techniques and trying to see at different times the way different people have reacted. I don't mind sharing, one of my brothers reacted in a very, very negative way to the death of my father, and arguments and so on and so forth. But using coaching techniques to understand, different people deal with grief in a different way. And this is, a little child coming out, or whatever it may be in terms of the saboteurs, but explaining them in layman's terms to my mother and to my sisters and stuff like that has really helped them, but it's also helped me get a sense of purpose when I've not been able to be there. And that's something that I never would have done before if it hadn't been for coaching and what we've been through.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful to hear you say that. So what would you say to people that might go, oh, I'm not doing coaching, it's going to open up a whole box of worries, concerns, and I'm just going to keep a lid on it. It's too dangerous. It's too scary. It's too scary to go and get coached.
Like me, I laugh when you tell me to close my eyes, Jill. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm going to end up crying. But it takes you to those places and those things that you put in that Pandora's box inside your head for so long. In management, in any sort of management, you can get swept away in the tide of the day-to-day firefighting that very often you don't sit back and reflect, and you don't make time for you. One of the biggest things for me when I first started coaching was the discovery pack, and actually having to sit down and actually write down and make that commitment, or as we call it, a pledge to someone else, that you will have something done by a certain time. And it's about you. It's about what makes you happy. Because in management or any job or an executive level, you'll go from problem to problem to problem to problem, and you'll firefight solve, firefight solve, firefight solve, and the next one comes along. It's very rare for you to sit back and ask yourself, am I happy? Is this what I got into this position for? And what is stopping me changing or moving or doing something else? And when you actually write that down and discuss it with a coach, you usually find that the only real person stopping you is you. Different things I've got out of coaching, different ways my life has changed. I always wanted to get back into trading again and getting in like really good health and good shape. If it wasn't for coaching, me having to commit that and pledge to that, I wouldn't be. People in school think I'm a maniac, get up every morning at 4 a.m. to go running. But that sort of thing has really made a big difference in my life, and a big difference in my attitude to life as well. So if someone was afraid to do it, I would say, like we say to kids, as teachers, we say to kids, just try it. You've nothing to lose. Try it for a little bit of time, and then we'll review it in 3 or 4 weeks' time. And I'd say, you'll know this better than me, 90 to 95% of people that try this don't just say after 4 weeks, no, it's not for me. They go on with it.
And there's a bit of actually in the coaching process, you are going to feel uncomfortable. There are moments when you feel a bit, this is a bit scary. Have I really got to do this? Have I got to have that difficult conversation? Have I got to end that relationship? Have I got to, whatever it might be? And I guess I'm interested in the bits where, because I know you and I work together, where there have been moments it's like, oh, this is hard. This is scary. And that's where the greatest growth can happen in somebody, where you're at that edge of, I'm scared, but I think I'm going to do it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I could take you to my bathroom that's behind me at the minute, and you'll see post-it notes all over the mirror, and it's something that started from sort of those sort of delving into coaching, but also delving into mindset and mindsets of successful people and stuff like that. And one of the greatest sayings that I've come to look at, and it's really apt for me at the minute, is out of all suffering comes growth. You have to all suffer to be able to change something and make a step forward. And I would definitely agree, those difficult conversations are the ones that are stopping you from taking the next step. They're those ones that you put in that box and you put to the side and you don't go near it because you know it's going to hurt. But at the same time, it's always there. It's like the kid that leaves a homework the Sunday night. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. And then they've got that pain on the Sunday waiting for them. It's not going to go away. All it's doing is damaging you. So a process like coaching, where you can do it with someone that's totally independent, will give you an honest feedback, but it will help you solve your own problem. And that's the biggest thing. It's not mentoring, it's not someone else solving your problem. It's you solving your own problem for you. And the empowerment that comes with that is part of the growth as well.
Cool. Fantastic. So just a last couple of questions. We're obviously part of this network, and all the members that have joined will be seeing this video. Are you happy for people to send you questions about your experience?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, it's probably one of the most beneficial things that I've done in life, never mind in a career. It's something that I want to help promote, because I want other people to get the benefits that I've got from it. I think especially teachers, all us teachers, it really is a vocation. You don't come into this for the money or anything like that. You come into it to give back. And one of the great benefits I've seen of it is not just the staff in Dulwich that have took on coaching, but when I talk to friends and how I can use it in my own personal relationships with friends, family, so on and so forth, and get them into it. I've got certain people looking at pineapples at the minute as well, which you'll know all about. But little things like that, little techniques. It's introduced me to other theories and mindset as well, and other people. David Goggins is someone that I'm into really at the minute. Maybe not for everyone, but those sorts of different people with mindsets and how you can be a better person, and that marginal gains, be 1% better tomorrow than you were today, and that's all came about from coaching.
I'm just curious, who's noticed the difference in you, Martin?
Who's noticed the difference? My brothers, my mother, my ex-partner, they've all noticed the difference. They really have. They've all noticed the difference, in not only in myself, but in my confidence as well. I was naturally a very confident person before, I would say, but I was a bit egotistical with it and arrogant with it at times as well. And reining that back in and developing that empathy. I wrote down a couple of words that the coaching makes me think of. It's courage and fear. It's the courage to take actions to address your fears. And those are two of the biggest things that stand out to me. What's come out of coaching: courage and fear. We all have fears in life, where we admit to it or not. Coaching gives you the courage to address those fears and actually move forward with your life.
Well, on that wonderful last sentence, we'll end. Thank you so much, Martin. I know that the members of this network will gain a lot from what you've just said. And now, those of you who are watching, please do get in touch with Martin. You can send him a message, and I'm sure he'll be happy to respond. So thank you again, once again, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks very much, Jeff.